It is the semi-finals. Now, over the course of the week, we've had a lot of people taking part who played well, but aren't with us. So we'll give them a bit of a shout out before we go in any further. So the wonderful Pope of Novigrad was in.
Amazing job.
Yeah.
We had Bomblin in as well.
We did, as well as Celebrate for You, Drago.
We had Pape, Berserker Leo. Those were some new names for us.
Berserker Leo, yeah, Danforth and Pape,
Yeah.
Then
Order Master.
and of course Bassicide.
Of course, this time it worked well.
Yeah.
Jaskriet.
Yes, Aban. Yeah.
And Dave.
And Datdev, and Enaran too.
Deneran too, yes.
Yeah, so they've all played but aren't with us. Our top 4, as a result, of course, we've got Lempi v Skellige coming in first. Yeah.
So we're gonna be looking at your guys' deck list. It is an open deck list. You guys are bringing only 3 of them.
Yeah.
This time you will be doing the bands in the tournament.
That's right. Well, in that case,
let's have a look at the deck. So we're starting with Skellige.
Yeah.
Skellige is bringing Skellige.
Yeah, Skellige is bringing. Yeah, it's a good start.
Skellige.
Yeah.
Wow,
Skellige's bringing Skellige. Who knew? Who knew?
That was almost surprising. For a second, I was like,
Love that. So it's an onslaught list to start with, which means pirates.
Yes.
So
it's what we've seen before.
List.
Yeah, Swallblob, so Justiana as a new addition. By the way, it is very early on in the new patch or in the new cards. Obviously the decks were submitted a week ahead, so by then it was super fresh. I wanna support everybody who actually brought the new cards. I think it's fun. So yeah, it's Justiana in the deck, Sigwald, Axel, Terror, lots of the new Armor Smith.
Yeah, a lot of value in that. These are powerful.
As well.
Just the one funeral boat
and one seagull.
in this. A seagull with funeral boat's amazing
for
together,
Sove,
to be fair. Also a backup for Sove, yeah. For this, you've got obviously double squirrels, really smart tech into tournaments, and also good for the Sove, but it is foul blood. This is pretty control heavy, bit of a powerhouse of a list, probably likely to be a red coin deck based on the way it runs, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Next, we have some Squirtle.
Precision Strike.
Yeah.
And, I'm seeing Zoltan.
Yes, Zoltan Warrior in a Precision Strike deck. So it's kind of value damage pings. It's an interesting mid-range.
With Alisa, obviously with lots of waylays that you want to play. With Simlas, that makes sense. But like a sprinkle of dwarves.
Yeah, I mean, it's still quite control heavy. It plays well against other lists. The extra bit of armor for the units that are going to be actually on board can be really frustrating. We know Precision Strike's big problem. It is Brick City. Those Broccolon Sentinels or the Waylays can be super awkward, but there are some backup plans in there, literally as a backup plan, to perhaps try to help that a little bit, and Maxi to mix things up.
Yep.
Curse of Corruption, Heatwave, and Hengadith Sword in there. On top of the Waylay spam, plenty of ways to remove with this list. Again, quite aggressive. Typically likes red with the lack of early bronzes, but Vanadane, maybe, there are options that this could play either way as well.
Yep. And the third one is Inspired Zeal Siege.
This looks familiar.
Yeah, I might have seen it before.
I know this list, yeah. It's very similar, but there are some techs tournament-wise.
Lock is there for a tournament, the Bomb is there, Heatwave, yes, there. Few changes. Hey, Dozen.
And any of you who've seen anything that I've put out on YouTube will or have just played Gwent will have seen the new version of Siege, of course. The powerhouse now that is Demavend. So many points into a short round or for a 2-0 push. This lists the Heatwave replacing the other Siege engine. Raffard's Vengeance will prevent you from overthinning. It is a possibility in the ladder version that you overthin because, of course, 2 Siege Masters, Amphibious Assault, and Demavend triple thinning. It's a lot, especially when you consider Natalis thins as well. So, quite a powerhouse of a list. Cheeky little squirrel down the bottom end as well. Love to see it. Skellige have gone pretty aggressive here. I mean, I like Siege on blue coin, and obviously it can play very well on red. I like it on blue. The other 2 lists, personally, I would prefer on red. But they are good deck lists all in all.
Yeah.
What can Lempi do?
Let's have a look.
Let's take a look.
So Lempi with that big old bear, like he said, hugging everybody.
Do not get hugged by this bear. Oh, and to clarify, yes, just so we should say, Skellige's favourite card, the Redanian Archer, love to see it. And of course, Lempi, big fan of the Raging Bear.
Yeah, I get it, you know.
Yeah, but as one does, you know.
I love them. I'll give them a little hug.
Of course.
So Lempi in-game Spymaster, just so you guys know.
Yes.
Is bringing Northernlam's Pincer Maneuver.
Yeah, so this one is Traveling Priestess Melitali.
Oh wow.
But
I hate it.
Yeah, I get it. But interestingly, obviously early season, it is a Traveling Priestess list. Because the deck lists weren't allowed to change, there is no sign of Onia yet in this list. However, it is going to play for a lot of points. It thins perfectly. You always draw your cards because Pincer Maneuver finds every Northern Realms card. Even has the Curse Scroll to guarantee finding what you're looking for in order to start this off. The combo between Snowdrop and Istrid is massive, and it's all about constantly shuffling away Melitali, finding that value over her different abilities.
And cheeky like the bearification there as well.
Love bearification, you never know. You just never know.
And either way, you can always use it on your own Vial Forbidden Knowledge or even something else. So I like it.
Love to see it.
Why not?
Indeed.
So the second is Imperial Formation Ball.
Yes, it's Soldier Ball. A cheeky bit of Soldier Ball, which you absolutely love to see. It's more likely to be engine protection than actual soldier benefit. But when, of course, you do see the Mangonels getting value from those combat engineers as well as the Rot Tossers, that could be powerful. It is a devotion deck. Love to see it. There are more than I think people realise kicking around these days. We often complain that they don't exist, but so many parts of meta decks, especially around scenarios, tend to be. Really strong list, great into 2 rounds, but doesn't like to be bled particularly like most scenario decks. I love Emir in this list. The pair, when it pulls out the Ardfiend, thins quite well. Does have Joachim and Roderick for that extra bit of thinning. If it gets round control, it can be scary, and the removal on this is a lot. The issue, though, it plays points for its removal in terms of it needs targets. Is that going to be an issue for some of those cards that Skellige's bringing? Well, the Rot Tossers could have something to say about Immune Soves. That's all. Maybe it's a prediction for the future. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see.
And the last one, but not least,
love this.
A beautiful rain. So I wanted to say it's quite standard, but it's not.
No, not even a little.
Because Fulma is not as common as, not everybody runs Fulma in rain, but Magic Compass, definitely interesting.
Love that.
And the
Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane, exactly.
Yeah.
Wolfsbane's very...
It's a new kind of tall...
Unusual,
well, they got reworked recently. Wolfsbane, for those of you that don't remember what it used to do because you've never played it,
well... boost all the odds.
And damage all the evens.
Something
but it's one or the other.
Yeah.
But now it just sets a unit to 1. It will damage a unit down to 1 power. Doesn't matter whether it's boosted or base powered or what. An interesting little tech at 8 provision. Absolutely love a little bit of that, you know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice. This list auto thins to 24 cards because Ryogun jumps into the graveyard, but Skellige is well squirrel teched. Thins, it is the discard package, my least favourite of packages, but perhaps Lempi is more talented than I am. Yeah.
I really want to see this deck.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that would be great.
It could be a lot of fun.
Lempi, you are on blue coin. That means you are going first in the first game, and then that will swap.
That is right.
Now, you should get an invite
in
the game right now. So
wait.
No?
If both of you can confirm you have an invite first.
Confirm, yeah.
Yes. Have you both got tournament client invites? If you can confirm that you have in game, yes. So in Gwent right now, it should be inviting you. You have an invite.
Amazing.
Okay.
Lempi.
Once we get Lempai's confirmation, we'll ask you both to step out.
Amazing. Off you go. Good luck. Have fun. Very happy to have you here. Now you go focus on your games. Accept the invite. Elle will be right there with you.
Yeah, we will be here with you. So good luck. We will, if we need you, we will tag you in Discord. Enjoy. And for those staying, we are going to be calling Series 1 first semi-final.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So we will be getting into that in just a second. We'll give them 30 seconds or so to get out of here. Yes, I'm not sure why. That must be just attached to the deck list that I'm playing. So it's going to be like list for list. I think Skellig is going to be very happy that they ended up having more shots at red coin because the two lists are quite aggressively red coin here. Both of them can win on blue, but I wouldn't prefer blue for either of them if I'm honest. But it is time.
Let's go in.
Yeah, we're going to go in and show you the tournament client about to be underway. Oh, this should be good.
It's always good.
Yes. Should be very good. We hope you're having a great weekend as well. Obviously, it's always fun doing some Gwent casting over the weekend. We make a bit of a habit of that.
Yeah, seems like that's what we do on the weekends.
Yes.
And as always, we're not chatting that much. We're not checking the chat so much when we're casting. Even if it's unofficial, we still want everybody to kind of have the experience as if it was an official casting. Which, by the way, if you ever want to participate, we do these every now and then. We'll tell you more about the next tournament. And they are community tournaments, but that means that everybody can enter. And then we cast them like this.
Yeah.
On the weekends.
And you can. Now, we're just waiting to find out. One of them's obviously making their decisions. Yeah. I'll just confirm.
I'll confirm that it's fine.
Yeah, if you can confirm with them, just say they can obviously start the game. We're just waiting on that from the player's side. Need both of them to go in as well as us. It is just taking a moment. The tournament client likes to, it likes to have its say. It likes to have its say. There we go. Oh. It is in. It is game one of the semi-finals. This should be good. And we can see on blue coin, it is Nilfgaard. So it's Masquerade Ball Soldiers versus Skellige's aggressive Syndicate deck.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That will be cool.
It should be a lot of fun. Skellige finds the heat wave early as well. We'll be very happy.
We have no visual lag, so we will talk about the next tournament at the end of this one.
Yes. So, looking at the draws here, the Sove currently...
It has the Squirrels as the targets.
Squirrels as the targets is the only thing available. A pretty bronze-looking hand down here for Lempi, but you actually don't mind that.
You don't want to play a Gold Aristocrat, I assume?
Typically, because if you play a Gold Aristocrat in round one, you end up pulling out the Ardfian. It's so good for that long round that... And potentially you might want to push for the 2-0, of course, but it's risky. Can see one combat engineer, but mulliganing away those golds very sensibly here. It's risky though. Has the stratagem, but it's open deck list. We know what lists the players are playing.
They know.
They know as well. So playing a unit and boosting it is always a risk that you could just be playing into Curse of Corruption.
Yeah, definitely.
So
yes, this is the first game of the first series. So we have... This is just the beginning of the entire tournament. I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Always good fun.
None of the players currently have won previously for us, right?
That's right. Yeah. We have no current champions among these, so they're all looking to take their first win among our community champions.
Beautiful, beautiful tournament champion Discord role is there.
Definitely. And if we have enough different tournament champions, maybe to start off Gwentfinity, we can look at getting them all against each other.
Oh,
maybe.
The playoff.
The champion of champions at the end of the year, maybe. Forget Masters. This is the tournament you want to be in, right?
Yes. You'll get... how many pugs?
Yes.
1 million pugs.
That would be quite a few pugs. As we see, Funeral Boat comes down. It's the only one Skellige had, but instantly answered by Spymasters only. I'm going to refer to them as the names that we can see. Round control here is going to matter quite a bit, I think. Being bled, especially as a scenario list, is really rough. knowing you're against something so heavy control, you want to be able to try and establish.
But looking at Skellige's hands, right? He wants to get armor on all of these units.
Yeah.
I mean the boat and Justiana.
Mm-hmm.
So that means chipping as much as possible. But not that many things that actually chip.
No, I mean, he can probably play Tempest to double thin here, honestly, play the weather. But we'll see what happens. Which way is Spymaster going to go? Probably set up an engine, try and protect it. The thing is, it does play in to Skellige's hands. May even not use the stratagem. I probably wouldn't in this open decklist situation.
Yeah.
I would, a lead the charge is nice, makes it harder to remove. And of course, as we do have this as a soldier, it does gain armor from formation as well.
And we're seeing the thinning. For a second, I was thinking if Skellige had clicked the mermaid, then that would have made these two the tallest unit. But it doesn't really matter. You want to use the curse for something else.
Yeah, and it'll only destroy one unit, right?
Yeah.
So for Scorch, yes, 100%. But you can see that armor, it does win the 50-50 and takes out the armor first, but with 5 turns of fog on this row, it's going to keep chipping away here now and start doing damage pretty quickly.
Which is what Skellige wants.
Completely. But the armor can constantly get in the way with Imperial Formation if you want to end up playing a second.
Now, playing Joachim is risky.
Very.
Because it brings the location, and you don't really want that.
Wow, and pulls another gold too.
Not great.
Not ideal, but now can start setting up the next round. We don't know, well, we do know what was picked. Ku is now on the top and will be staying there as the Thirsty Dame goes. Risky though, because if you don't find your cards, you're guaranteeing yourself a Ku, but potentially no spies. Both of your spy creators have just gone.
Yep.
So.
Well, I think that was a panic move a little bit, because Joachim was the only golden aristocrat in the hand.
It shows, obviously, from Lempai's side, that they want to, A, win this round, but also intend to go into the second round quite heavily.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very unlikely that Ardfian is the card that gets heat waved. It's a ton of points, arguably more in a long round than Ball, but it just doesn't feel right tempo-wise to do that.
Especially if you know Ball is there as well.
Yeah.
But then, yes, you're probably keeping the heat wave for that.
Very much so.
But Spymaster has a comfortable cushion of points right now. We could see, the Seditious Aristocrats and probably the Stratagem and leave.
It can never leave.
Can never leave.
Can never leave. The full bronze hand, A, means you were willing to play.
Okay.
But leaving by choice here is just asking to lose the game. Because the reach, you know it always exists simply because Sove exists. But between Curse of Corruption, Heatwave, and all the other options that should exist for Skellige, you don't know for sure that they're all there, but you know some of them probably are. It's in a series where your opponent can play 2 cards. It's a lot, but you definitely want to win the round here, as Lempai may decide.
Oh, wow.
Because the risk, of course, more units. It's a Svalbard deck.
Yeah.
We know what's in hand. But they don't, right?
Spymaster doesn't, yeah.
So that's obviously a big part of this.
But then again, Rod Tosser you want to keep for later, because that is your way to remove Sove, right? Yeah. So we could see the Mangonel maybe go down.
The Mangonel is a possibility for those of you that don't know what it does. Damages an enemy unit by 1, but if there's an adjacent spying unit, it'll do more damage. Unfortunately, the cards are in the wrong order. Fergus got pulled out by the Joachim. No Ku right now, no way to grab it, even though it is the top of the deck. So it's a little awkward.
It is, yeah.
Nothing really that you want to poison. I think you just have to give a Mangonel.
That's why. But you don't want to, but you might have to. It's such a
It's really, really difficult. The problem is the hand gets progressively worse. Uses the first Rot Tosser instead. This is an interesting threat.
Yes, but it's risky if you never get the second one.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
It can be. Now.
Meanwhile, Skellige is quite comfortable with the reach, actually. It doesn't look like it, but...
Yeah, but it's not as difficult as it looks. It's a 25-point gap when you consider the constant... Rain is 2 points, the value here. Rain is now only 1 point, but the totem, as you say, is also good engine value. And now it's looking a little bit scarier.
Or Spymaster.
Yes, because while those poisons are there...
What are they really gonna do, right?
They're not gonna... You can't really pair anything with it yet. Is ahead. Could threaten a poison, but it's kind of not worth it. You're probably giving a mangonel, because a pass here would be expensive, to say the least.
Yeah. So, if you poison the fanatic, and it's reversible, the poison stay?
Yeah, because it transforms. Okay. The poison goes.
The poison goes.
Yeah, it'll transform into something else. It's a whole new card. It's effectively purified. We do see that mangonel come out, and he's playing for the points. Makes a lot of sense. And holding on to those poisons knows that, worst case, if you wanted to, you could drop a Fangs of the Empire. It's just looking for any other target that isn't one of these, knowing that it would be a waste. And here is where it comes down for Skellige, because while the hand is super powerful, at the moment this boat, you don't really want to give this.
No, Justiana the same.
Yeah, Justiana might be better though. It's definitely one of the two of them. And Terror of the Seas could be the answer here, perhaps cleaning up the engine or something to that effect, is possibly what I would look to do. We shall see, because it's still very much in reach for Skellige here.
Because you could do Totem. That's at least 2 extra points. I like to go for leader.
And the boat or the Usti. Okay, I thought maybe boat to kill the Rot Tosser was going to be the metric here, but no.
No, okay.
Instead, the Usti drops down and does put ahead.
I'm still surprised. No totem click. Is Skellige keeping it?
It's playing around the poisons,
yeah.
Because as soon as you flip it to a 6...
Then you can't unflip it, obviously, right?
And now there's a difficult spot. So for Spymaster, realistically, you are using those now, right? You're going to have to use those charges. Removing a 4, that's fine. And you can guarantee the removal by playing a Fangs of the Empire as well. That Fangs of the Empire will guarantee that even if your opponent tries to block, you're getting removal in some value, but it's problematic here. Losing and passing on even is potentially game losing, and most likely
especially with the location down already.
Yeah, exactly, because then, especially in a shorter round, you can just basically pass and go. I would probably be dropping a poison on Justiana and double-clicking, but unsure, taking the time.
Oh my god, the rope is real. Oh!
Oh no.
Oh no.
Did
we disconnect? Did we just overthink it?
It's not a disconnect. Skellige takes the pass now, understandably so.
Oh no, I'm checking the Discord.
We'll double check to see if they've tagged us in anything.
No, nothing there. We don't know.
And you can see the player hovering.
Oh, okay, so wait.
So was there is now multiple cards down. Maybe they took too long in the rope.
Because we could see hovering above the Fangs, and then it didn't happen. I think Spymaster might have taken a little too long.
Possibly.
And roped out.
Yeah, drawing superbly well, but going in now potentially to a round without Ardfian, because you can't push with this hand, or going into a long round against Super Control that probably has the answers is very, very risky. That rope probably isn't decisive based on the matchup, but certainly not good.
Yeah, and it's the tournament, how we call it, like stress.
Yeah.
I think it's normal thing if you're not used to tournament, and that it feels very different.
Hugely.
And I'm just sorry for Spymaster if it was a rope out, That's
I mean, it definitely was a rope out. It wasn't a disconnect because it would tell us.
Yeah, it wasn't an intentional discard either.
No, it definitely wasn't an intentional discard, and would be a very different situation if they'd clicked and played.
It happens to all of us. It's fine, but how will Spymaster deal with it now? It's
difficult because in this spot, Ball trades with Heatwave pretty quickly, and you're reasonably sure your opponent has it almost always. Of course, we can see they do. Pushing 2 cards down against this, it's not ideal.
Trading your location for totem could be
and you have to pass here.
To be fair, Skellige has only good cards.
Yes, that's the plus side here. So the Sigvold goes.
Okay.
It's a big card, but in the grand scheme of things, is it going to be decisive? Unlikely. We are going to see, though, first and last say now for Skellige, with having managed to keep Sove, Murderboat, and Heatwave. It's a pretty good-looking spot, all in all.
So, ball blob in hand, amazing. The Squirrels are not really useful here.
Yeah.
Surprised the Combat Engineer goes, but we probably need the Aristocrats, right?
Yeah, at this point.
So, Skellige's hand's looking pretty good.
Yeah, has managed to miss the Teshamutna sword. Lots of golds missing Usurper and Philippe, but we have both the Roderick and Ku, so guaranteed to see them. Plus extra thinning from Emir when Emir is dropped. Bear in mind, Ball's never going to survive, but if it did, Emir can single cycle poison through Masquerade Ball. So expecting Spymaster to drop it and say, answer it or don't.
Yeah, I think you have the answer.
Yeah, because one of the things here is there are plenty of situations where killing the Dame is worth more than killing the Masquerade Ball. And the question could well be here. And that's an interesting choice. Skellige has decided to kill the Dame over the Ball, meaning Spymaster could and probably should single cycle this Masquerade Ball now to remove
Axel.
Yeah. Big miss, though. Doesn't do it. Has decided if you've removed that, you can't possibly have Heatwave. That is unfortunate here.
That is unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate for Spymaster.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's... And a brave drop as well.
But then it makes Skellige decide, are you getting rid of this Rod Tosser or my ball? Right? Because the Rod Tosser is possibly a big threat. It's just a little early, because Skellige hasn't dropped the things you want to Rod Toss.
Yeah, I would probably not have done that in that instance, honestly. I'd have kept it for a little bit later, tried to hold off, but getting the full leader here as well.
Oh, well, not full.
Oh, no, yeah, up to 7. Playing for the 7 to try and protect it from a couple of other things, namely the Teshamutna sword. But Terror of the Seas is exactly in the spot it needs to be to remove it. Okay, they're kind of playing...
like a waiting game, you know? They're just like...
Skellige just building up some armor now. I would be desperately trying to get as much value as possible right now. Yeah. Obviously, you want to be able to remove the big threats if you are Spymaster. But, as it stands... That's going to be a real challenge if you aren't able to actually protect your engines or find value. Now the Emir, Now Emir.
So what, is it going to be the Dane? Because that just gets more value. No?
No, not early on.
Okay. We're seeing the Aristocrats. Axel gets removed. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Are we holding on to the Rotosu? Because we should. But it's gonna die.
Instead of poisoning 2s, yes. If you were going the other side, if you played the Thirsty Dame, maybe not.
Maybe, yeah.
And that's what's being weighed up right now. Okay, boosts both, which is nice, the Emir and also that.
Okay.
But we both know the Terror of the Seas is here. It should kill Emir.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, correct decision. And it looks closer than you'd think it was going to be. Big problem at the moment as it looks for Skellige. No Bloodthirst, no damage units for that Sove, but of course, big old Foulblood should come in and deal with that fine. However, playing the Terror of the Seas just bricked his Armorsmith. This is worth 2 points now. Really problematic. This is now a 2-point card when it was worth 10 before, and he just drops 2 points onto the board.
For Spymaster, I would probably go Thirsty Dame Roderick, right? And then Ku as your last save.
Yes, that's what you're looking to do. You're now looking to outpoint your opponent effectively.
Yeah.
Still in a spot where you don't really want to have to use that Rock Tosser. Hasn't been answered yet. At any stage, it could be. And now the big moment is going to be, can you guarantee enough Bloodthirst with Foulblood now, or are you Heatwaving the engine, which is the Dame?
Makes sense.
Now that might seem weird. You might be looking at thinking, you had Heatwave this whole time, what are you doing? But in reality, the dames trade for so much more value than the 8 points and the removal that you're getting from ball. That dame could easily be worth 20 plus over the course of a round if you play into it.
And now, if Spymaster doesn't recall the spies, he's actually pretty smart because of Spell Blood.
Yeah, I mean, Spell Blood damages everything, right?
Yeah. So then you're not giving yourself extra targets. That's why. I mean.
Yeah. You've got less Bloodthirst on this side.
Yeah. So keeping them on SkelligeWinds side actually good. Yeah. But now my worry is, Roderick might die before he gets cooked.
Now that is a risk. And that's a big risk. Something that you really, really don't want. Is that Roderick dying. Of course, you'll find something that you can coup. Does pull them back either way.
Okay.
And we know this, because you're looking at it now. Spymaster's in the spot saying, I have way more points than you.
But now this drops, right?
It's going to be a big amount of point swings between this and the Sove. Currently, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damaged units.
Okay.
And a guaranteed 6th potentially from the onslaught. Is it going to be enough? We know, so it's likely to be Philippe, but no vampires.
Really make that much. No vampires. So.
Oh, no vampires on the board because this is not.
We could poison. We could guarantee a poison with the cook then.
Yes, so it probably has to be the cupbearer. Because then, as you say, you're guaranteeing removal of Svalblood. You can't protect from both sides. That's what you should be doing.
That's what is happening as well, probably.
Yeah, looks like it. This is going to be awfully close here.
God. Probably the other side, yeah. There we go, spent.
3 points of damage.
Come on.
This is...
I would damage the crows, probably.
Yeah, and you just want to remove those units,
them, it's done. So this is going to be close, because now...
I think he may just have done it, because of course he's only got the 4s. There's not a second option. Doesn't have a... There's no bonded.
Okay.
And the poisons are going to get right in the way here.
Oh.
And as a result, it was close, but Lempi from 2 cards down. Wow. Fine. It's not a thing. Maybe we'll bootleg some new Gwent merch.
Maybe.
I think it's a good idea. I might custom design some.
Yeah. Gwentfinity t-shirts.
Yeah, maybe. Although I'm sure it's literally against the law, because we don't own any of the rights to the word Gwent. Yeah, and they'll say no, because they're a multi-million-pound company that don't want their rights infringed on.
They can print it for us then.
Yeah, that's definitely not happening. Trust me, I've asked. But we'll see. We'll see. Some community-based ones that could have, you know, a passing nod, maybe, as tournament prizes and stuff. I'm sure they wouldn't mind, right?
Obviously.
As we go in now, it is game 2. And now Skellige again coming back.
Skellige v Skellige.
It is Skellige versus Skellige, both of them with Skellige. But it's rain on red for Spymaster. Now, the double squirrel in SkelligeWinds list is potentially very helpful for them here. Of course, you've also got to find them.
You have a Necromancer here. So.
Yeah, that's true. But you never want to do it too early.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your opponent starts with Ragnar, the rainy boy in the graveyard.
Yeah, Ryogen,
if you squirrel it away immediately, then they can plan for it being gone, right?
That's true.
So it's really smart to actually squirrel it much later on when they've already kind of set it up to play as if the Ragnar is there.
Yeah. The only thing of open deck list, you know the squirrels exist, you know there are 2 of them. The odds of your opponent not having it, realistically, for Spymaster's side, you're playing as if you're not finding value, or if your opponent takes too long, using it way earlier to force a round 1 rather than going for that big round 3 100-point swing kind of deal. But we can see this time round, Skellige gets the funeral boat and doesn't look like it's going to be removable. Good hands.
Spymaster probably wants to start working on Melusine and stuff like that, rather than removing stuff immediately, right? Yeah,
that's the potential. The risk, you can see some of the discard package is there. There's a Morkvarg and one of the discard engines as well. You do have Hame Scald and Burner, but no Coral to get the extra value from it, which is a big downside.
And we're seeing Skellige
Tempest? Yeah. I like this, and you can see the big difference that just made. because it just dropped 3 units into the graveyard, 3 cards, it does an extra 3 damage. That's so much value. It's a big, big difference all of a sudden to the power of that defender.
And we sadly don't have any way to boost him or to protect him, so Melusine comes down, makes sense.
Yeah, Melusine just trying to gain some value and stay stronger.
The defenders tried to defend with the armor, but it's just gone immediately, right?
There was no defense there, as we see again. Melusine already at 4 power and also unprotected now. Fog hitting the lowest power unit as well. Taking the rain value makes a little bit of sense. I don't hate it. Overplaying to try and protect the engine.
Isn't Melusine just dying next turn then?
Yes, Melusine is now gone. But you kind of have to just allow that to be the case, I think, because Funeral Boat had a 50-50 on any card going into the graveyard. Even if you let this boost up, then you'd make this more vulnerable. From Spymaster's side, this is about setting up value for later. The Melusine only at 8 base power, probably not going to be your big game-winning moment.
Ooh. Gotta get ace aggressive here, huh?
Got to be against engines, as we see. The death of the Melusine, of course, goes in the graveyard, causes more Funeral Boat damage. Really, really well played with this boat by Skellige.
Are we going to see Burner maybe coming down now?
Burner's a possibility, but I think maybe I'd Scald first just to try and greed finding Coral. It's a really difficult one because you don't have anything else you want to discard in the hand. So if you draw another good card, you can't really play the Burner, right?
Yeah, so you must start with the Scald probably, right?
Yeah, it's a bit problematic as we see engines, and the Burner is the right call. Yeah, trying to get that bit of tempo.
No, that's good. No, it's not good.
I mean, you're on red coin.
At least you have something to discard. That's what I mean.
True. I think
you can now discard the 2 actual discard.
Can you afford to do that when I think you need it to thin itself for Magic Compass, honestly?
Well, we'll see.
A lot of tempo there, though, but it plays into the Funeral Boat as well. You put cards in the graveyard, the Funeral Boat goes, aha! And one of the things I would like to see as a change, I actually don't want this to change provisions. I just want it to be only during my turn that works.
I think I wouldn't mind being it row locked again, like the other annoying boat.
Yeah, you could do that too.
I like the boats being row locked, then you can just move them out of the way.
Maybe. And we do see Skellige finds value on this blacksmith this time.
Bulma.
Yeah, and Spymaster going nowhere, saying, I want to win on even here. I'm in a spot where I want to push this, I want to be aggressive, and try and put you into a difficult spot. Skellige's side does have some answers. You don't really want to leave Fulmar on the board, but do you want to answer?
Stuff, right?
Yeah, you can't risk just dropping a Justiana here. She's only doing 6 damage. And it's 6 random damage. You can't assume 3 of 6 are going to hit Fulmar and you can just clean up with a leader charge. You could use the boat, but it's a big problem.
You could on Sigvold something.
You could, yeah. I think the Sigvold front row to try and absorb a rain ping could be nice. It's decent enough in this, but is he? I see the hover of the big lad here,
and it's happening.
Okay.
Well. Ooh,
interesting. That's
a big commitment from Skellige, and Spymaster saying, "Well, thank you for the storm, then."
Yeah, lots of storm value, and now
obviously the messenger coming back.
Yeah, that little merman has returned.
Little nightmare.
Yeah, there he is. That's a lot of value all of a sudden.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, and now we're seeing on Neuromancy for something, most likely, but for what? So we need a self-ping to create a fanatic if we want to get another blob.
Yeah, but you don't. You only need to do 5 damage in a turn here. If you play Justiana, you're going to erupt everything. As a result, spawn 1 and damage 1. So I wouldn't mind the Justi here, but we do go a Neuromancy. And we're Neuromancying into... Oh, totem, very nice. Yeah. Okay, here comes the totem. 2 spawns. Big. Yeah, and obviously the damage onto them will kind of absorb some of the value of that rain, really.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Because,
Are we just going to see the clear up of the hand now? playing the discard Scald, or are we keeping that to mulligan the good boy later?
It's really... I think you might have to do it, but it's rough. Using the Sigdriffers right now could work and just bring Reorgan. You know it's not going to survive against the double squirrel deck. So if it were me, I would say, you know what?
You know, I have a messenger.
I'm going to clear all of the rain.
Points, right?
Because, you know, it's going to do a lot more value. Yes, it's going to twist these, and they're probably doing the maths, because these all pop. So it's still net positive. But it instead takes the pass here. Because Foulblood Maths is very painful. And Spymaster decides, you know what? No time for this Foulblood Maths. Respect it. And not
I get
ahead.
It, yeah. So Spymaster is a card up though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, on red coin didn't keep pressing that there. Will we see Wolfsbane? This is going to be so cool. And it's set an enemy's unit. It's not damage, it's set. So in theory, I believe that means it works against Sigvold no matter what the power is, because it's not damaging it.
That's interesting, yeah.
And now Skellige pushing. Skellige saying, here we go. I cannot give you a long round as Rain. That would be terrifying. We're not doing that. Has missed both squirrels.
Yeah.
But we
has
do.
Has Neuromancy still.
And an 11 boost blacksmith to boot as well. Is a good amount of value, I would say.
Definitely.
Probably more to come, even.
And Spymaster, meanwhile, trying to thin so much. Putting Knickers back in the deck. Probably playing the Scald, because you have two of them, and you desperately need to thin.
Yes, you do.
You don't really have targets.
Well,
but you could get them.
Exactly, and you don't want to play them before Knickers.
Yeah.
But the reason is, of course, Magic Compass here. You need to basically discard everything you can. Yeah. And this Wolfsbane target's looking pretty tasty. Seeing a 16 power option and a Wolfsbane looking to play for 15.
I'm thinking about it.
I think I would probably be taking it. You can't target Sove anyway.
Yeah.
Because, of course, it's immune. So it's the best target you're getting, I feel. The rain in as well.
Makes sense.
Gotta be done. Love to see it.
Amazing.
Big value there. And Knickers in just about time.
It's gonna be like, I've never seen this card before.
The first time in history I think I've seen Wolfsbane played, let alone the tournament. Love to see it.
Yeah. Sigvold would be an amazing target for it too, but it's just not there. And Spymaster wants the points now.
And the thing is, in this situation, as the engine player, you want to get the other person out of this as quickly as possible, and you particularly want to keep your card. Playing this way, that extra little bit of aggression, at the moment, you have a pass as Skellige, and you're thinking, I'm keeping my card, but isn't going anywhere by the look of it. Yeah, and
for Sove.
Oh, big value. Okay, so what is the choice? Goes for the maximum value here.
Interesting.
Double leader? Double leader. Okay, Skellige saying, I want the 2-0. I don't buy that it's worth giving you a long round. Knows, of course, in this open deck list, that even if they have Compass, it's bricked, right? So that's a big moment. I'd probably get rid of the rain.
Yeah, me too. I would get rid of the rain. No, get rid of the other Scald. I would have tried to get more thinning.
Damn.
Because I think because then Spymaster could have played again through the Bride.
Yes.
And now
exactly.
Can't get the alchemy back, right?
Yeah. Now, of course, this is also alchemy.
But
we don't have the rain to pull it off,
There's another one in the graveyard, so you could do that.
Ooh.
It's gonna get passes, so I think Spymaster needs rain, messenger.
But it's not going to be enough to do it in a single turn, I think, which is really awkward. Because you've got rain from the leader charge is worth 2 on your side, 2 on your opponent's side instantly, so it's worth 4 straight away. Messenger adds that up to be itself worth another 6. That's only 10, and you're looking at 20 plus.
Yeah.
Really not a good spot here for Spymaster.
Goes for the messenger. I would go for leader probably. But
I think you're gonna need. I think you need leader and honestly.
Yeah.
So I think you might have to leader here.
I think so too. Yeah. If you want to catch up, at least in like.
Yeah.
Oof, risky.
Well, we'll have done the maths. I would say if leader now plus the Ryogun, I would say, is playing for enough. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, enough, 16. Yeah, it's more than enough. It's enough by 2. This Ryogun here got to be the play, surely now.
It's probably, yeah.
But it's a difficult spot. Skellige really pressing this home, trying to get back on level terms.
And at least Spymaster's like, now, well, you didn't remove him from my graveyard, and now I don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah, well, if the squirrels had been drawn, I think that would have been the case.
Yeah,
but using it for a Nero wasn't going to be right. And get value while you can is the message, right?
Okay, we have Coral and the target. The tear goes.
I don't think you can thin enough now, because obviously you're looking. Well, you can once, but you still haven't found the card. Needs to find Magic Compass here to be in with a shot, and doesn't find it.
Let's see if Coral.
No, there's 4 cards left. It doesn't matter, right?
With Coral.
Coral takes you to 3, and you need less than. You've got to have 2 cards.
Yeah,
so
true.
because the Scald was the choice, got rid of the other thinning option. Really, really awkward. Doesn't mean it's over. Remember, last way around, it looked like Lempi was, in a difficult spot. Didn't end up being the case.
I would say the messenger's gone.
Yeah, the messenger has gone, which is very difficult now because, of course, it would have been your Freya target of choice, I would suggest.
You could therefore Freya the other Scald.
Yeah, you might do.
To actually thin.
Yeah, which... Again, still is probably the choice. You're just trying to find it, but seeing Compass right at the bottom, Freya into the other Scald is probably the line.
Yeah, because you get points from Coral. You are thinking, can I get?
Yeah.
Can I please get the Compass, right?
Yeah, and that's pretty much what you're looking to do at this point. Either you can play this just for pure value, but the Scald is better, because if you can find it, and they do, that's a big, big moment. Finding that shuffle is massive. Yeah. All of a sudden, you've got potentially a Fukusha into something like a Melusine that's still there, or a Fulmar even, for lots of value,
Much better.
Suddenly
Spymaster's like, oof.
Yeah. And now you're looking at the number of points physically available and thinking, okay, this is actually only 12 points your side. Yes, there's removal, but this is excess removal by a long way. This isn't. Justiana's just a 16, which should be enough, but it's all of a sudden...
Okay, so we're playing Compass now.
Yeah. You want value on your opponent's side of the board in this spot, and Fukusha's pretty much guaranteed to be the maximum value.
Are we bringing Melusine? Are you bringing Defenders, or just make it awkward to remove stuff?
If Coral's alive, I'd honestly burn her and double click, because it's the best way of finding the value, but it's gonna be difficult if you're not fast.
Lempi again.
Okay, now this is smart though.
Yeah, because we got the bonded value.
And the rain.
And the rain, yeah.
Allowing, potentially, for a double Wolfsbane.
Oh wow, true. Okay.
So double wolf, it's not a lot of value on the Sigvold. It's worth 5, right? So it's not actually going to be worth it, unless. Do we see a Justiana now?
Oh well, Justiana can't happen now. It's Spymaster's time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah, and double Lassay here's a big.
The Spymaster has to play the bride.
And crazily, the squirrel also still not here.
That's just like
Yeah.
Well, he played once.
Yeah, he's played one, and it would have gone otherwise.
Okay, Spymaster roping us today.
Working out the maths, it's probably better just to take the Sigdriffer here, pull out something of use.
Funnier, but...
Yeah, the thing is, you're looking for as many points that your opponent can't kill.
Yes.
Here. So, just Sigdriffering for the biggest unit basically is a lose. It can be a loss. So, are you trying to take... Freya's Blessing into an 8. Plays the Sigdriffer, okay, and the Melusine does come back in the end.
Oh my god.
So,
so much stress.
This is gonna be close.
So
here.
we're removing the Melusine.
Yeah, I'd have waited a turn because you just cost yourself a point, but it doesn't matter. And wins just
barely.
That was close. Could have held this boat and made Melusine damage another unit by 1. In the end, wow, that.
So now it's 1-1.
It is.
Oh, that was a roller coaster. That mirror.
Wasn't it just? So we're now seeing that it is.
Skellige is gonna bring Precision Strike.
And Lempi again with Rain.
Yep, vital.
It's really important. Remember, this is open deck list, so there are no guesses for the players here. They know exactly what the opponent's decks look like, but only we can see the hands. They can't see each other's hand here. As we go in. Love to see it, love to see it. Skellige Siri is representing for Spymaster.
Let's go.
Let's see. How are the hands looking? Can Spymaster find a bit more of that discard package? Has some, and crucially Coral early on.
How's Brick City for Skellige? Not horrible.
No, it's actually looking pretty
you have Vanadine targets
good.
if you want to.
Lady of the Lake has got the option for Hengedite Sword, because obviously it's not just a Nero, which was why the mulligan. We see the Compass mulliganed away.
Okay.
It's just, So, the Compass mulliganed away here. You might think that's weird, but this list thins so well, and you really want to be able to play every card if you can. Pretty important to be able to do that where possible. Heatwave does exist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, Heatwave,
and
Curse of Corruption, both swords. It's a very aggressive list.
As well, you know. You have a lot to do if you're Skellige.
And that's the risk. Which path does Skellige take here with that Aneromancy? Because there's no access to both, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so,
you have to choose. Either you're prepping your hand and doing mundane and stuff like that, or you're keeping on Aneromancy for pew-pew.
Yeah. Now, if this Coral survives, anything that goes onto the board right now is taking 4 damage straight off the bat. The Coral comes down, click, leader, click. Stratagem, click. Hence why this has gone in the front row rather than the back. The risk of losing that engine, too much to look at here. Expecting to see that Coral, because it's a huge amount of tempo pretty quickly, that you can then develop. Opens up more options for your Scalds as well to actually have good discard targets. But looks like they're toying with the idea. No, it makes sense.
Click, click, click.
Okay, now
there we go.
Now you always look at that and think it's an echo card, right? But you're never risking in an open decklist situation.
You don't want to risk that.
You can't.
Is Skellige bringing squares? I think so.
He's got 1 in hand. And it's single this time round.
But you don't want to risk putting Magic Compass into the graveyard.
No.
Thinking, it's fine.
I mean, it does leave you in a situation where if you get rid of the Compass, you can't get rid of Ryogun. And we know that setup is 100+ points of swing. However, the Heatwave now isn't an issue. It's not accessible here. We do see Vanadane is dropping down. Yeah, it's a smart call. I don't think it will survive, though. As we look, that bit of armor is...
that's nice.
Because now... The Wolfsbane would have hit it down to 1. The Rain would have killed it.
Yeah.
Not possible anymore. So probably
we're now seeing another discard.
Gets the hit they're looking for, though. I would now be proccing Rain, personally, to guarantee a hit early. Because remember, Wolfsbane sets to 1. It doesn't do X amount of damage. That armor's always going to be problematic.
Yeah, definitely.
So you want to keep pinging that away as quickly as you can. Is holding off, though, because it does reduce the Wolfsbane value. This is going to be interesting. It's a big choice.
And we see nothing. No click.
No click, but we will very likely see some armor here, and probably...
We see the dwarf, makes sense. It's a little slow, but then you want to play your waylays out.
That's an interesting call, though.
Yeah.
Decides holding on to those waylays this turn. The Rain now has at least a 75% chance with a Wolfsbane of clearing up that Vanadane if you go for it in 1. It's risky, but I'd take those odds.
Sure.
I would probably be... I'd Wolfsbane and then use the option here. I'd use the little half-through. Go for the cleanup, because you're halving the value of these potential waylays going forward. Obviously, if you miss it, you're not happy.
But you're also not developing a Melusine. You're not doing anything for your carryover here if you're doing that.
And that's the risk.
Yes. Meanwhile, SkelligeWinds happy to play waylays and, maxi and go. Effectively.
Yeah. And that is... So we see it that way. Do we...
Yeah.
50-50. No worries whatsoever.
Okay.
Big moment there. RNG smiling on Lempi.
And well, SkelligeWinds saying, okay, well, I'll play my Valence anyway.
Yeah.
Never mind, right?
Very much so. And isn't trying to press the advantage right now. Isn't trying to use that full leader because it's open and available. It's not really a threat. Lovely timing, though.
A good timing for the cultist to boost the coral out of waylay range.
Yeah, and she's going to take another punch, though.
For a dwarf to hit it. Oh, no. It's the leader, of course.
Yeah, but forcing one of those leader pings out...
It's nice.
It's good value. We didn't see Skellige again, though, try and push to win on even. As much as Precision Strike wants to thin these early, it does matter when and how they do it. So...
Meanwhile, Spymaster very aggressive here.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You want to win this round as the engine deck, especially into control. You want that round control. You don't want to be bled and pushed awkwardly. It can be really difficult. You at least want to get some value for yourself.
Are we going to see? Yes, the messenger needs to die.
Yeah, and
this
now
is not do not kill the messenger. This is definitely
kill the messenger.
It's
the messenger's fault, and you want to take it out on the messenger.
As quickly as you can. Yeah. That needs to go.
And it's really nicely done because, of course, that banishes and steals it, which means it's not available in the graveyard for your opponent later. It's as good as squirreling it away while killing it and stealing it for yourself later. It's a really, really horrible combo for Spymaster to have to tolerate.
I would, if I was Skellige, I would probably try and use full leader to thin, because otherwise I'm Brick City.
So here's the thing: we've just used the maxi now, and you can see you're not bricking those right now, and you're getting both waylays. I wouldn't be clicking that.
No?
I would be leaving that alone. I think it's winnable in that spot. But we will see. We will see as the Melusine.
Quite late Melusine.
It is.
Not next to a cultist.
Not worried about that. Yeah. Just because you want to get that armor value, I would say.
Yeah, I know, but...
Yeah. But yeah, it's an option for sure. It's an option.
So Skellige now...
I'm seeing him hovering Simless. Now that is aggressive.
That will be backup.
Yes, Simless double backup plan would be very aggressive here, but the hand...
Not great.
No, so leader right now is worth 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 9 points in the leader, plus the squirrel is not quite enough, right? Even with
the Zoltan instead. Okay.
Yeah, now and because of course Zoltan doesn't have armor in his own right anymore. It's why he doesn't see as much play. But the armor engine is on board, which allows that little bit of benefit. But Spymaster's not going anywhere here. Very happy, going to be playing for some value. The Bride, I would expect. Yeah, don't.
Oh, imagine the magic.
I mean, Magic Compass, any 3 from could be really awkward here because these discarding, to be actually.
And then you're opening yourself to a Squirrel.
Yes, and this is move to your graveyard. It's not discard. The wording is different, so it won't proc these. It would proc Morgvarg because that's whenever it enters the graveyard, but it's not the same thing. Remember. So now Spymaster kind of between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
You don't want to pass. But both options are not
Big
that
cards
great.
To comment, honestly.
Graveyard options, you do have Tears of the Siren available, and that's what we're going to see.
What we're seeing.
Yeah.
And rain, of course, now everywhere. So, sorry, I got scared of that sound.
Okay, yeah, that was a bit of a jump scare moment.
Only for me.
Yeah.
Nobody else gets scared from these. Never mind.
No, it was just a big flash.
Yeah,
it's okay. Here and now, Skellige's in a great spot. The squirrel doesn't do it on its own, but you've got 2 points of damage this turn anyway. One from the Zolt. In fact, if the rain doesn't hit poorly, you armor this. You play the squirrel. Honestly, you do thin your leader out and you just potentially win on even here.
Yeah, we're getting rid of the rainy boy or not?
Real gunner all day.
Rainy boy has to be that, right?
he definitely leaves, but we will confirm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So leader, killing everything, killing one of the cows or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice here. And now, from Spymaster's side, it's really difficult because even if you can fish effectively here, realistically, very little actually gets you ahead. You still need 10 points. You need 8 points.
And obviously, you don't
7.
know that you're potentially getting seamless in response. But like you say, it doesn't even have to be enough to get ahead.
And there's a chance that you just don't find what you're looking for. If Coral was still on the board, it might be a consideration here. And they may just decide, you know what, it's worth it to thin because I thin to 7, which means I thin to 1, and the second compass is guaranteed to be good. But it's a huge risk here. I think Spymaster believes they lose if they don't win this round, and that's why they're going the way they are. Gotta be the messenger of the sea here, because it's going to be worth a lot of value. That is enough points, because it's finding at least extra rain.
There we go.
And a big hits the Zoltan Warrior. Hits the Zoltan Warrior, and we get the pass.
Skellige's like, no, I'm not giving you my Simlas. Thank you very much.
That was, because that could have not gone their way. If it double hits armor, it's a tie. And that was game losing. Really, really brave call. Turns out to be the right one.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
In that moment, not losing on even is definitely better than losing on even, is what I would say. Okay.
Okay, so Burner. Why are we keeping Burner again?
Burner is just because there's definite value in Burner, right?
Okay. Are we trying to definitely 2-0 then?
Not necessarily. No, but again, you could potentially use this for Lippy, for instance.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
This is semi-final number 1, yes.
Yeah, we're still in the first series.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Misses the discard. Very brave. The defender goes, makes sense, because you know there's no benefit to it.
And we're not 3 and or less, so this is it.
Yeah.
Spymaster has to go now.
I would say so, yes. I would say this, but the thing is, you're looking to bleed for the Simless, right? But you're never getting it.
Yeah, you're just never... No, this is not good for my Spymaster.
That's really unfortunate. You needed that skirmisher for the 2-0 push. Now Spymaster has to get out here, as we see. Okay, holds that.
Alyssa will come down.
Yeah, the Alyssa is perfectly placed. And I think this is looking pretty tough.
We'll see how Brick City goes for Skellige, though.
Yeah, I believe... I don't think they shuffled, which means unless they've gone back onto the top...
Well, shuffle a special card into your deck, so
yeah,
now
those
we could
two,
still get them. And you know how difficult it is not to click.
Well, no, for you. I would not be touching anything here now.
We're not clicking, yeah. Skellige's probably not clicking anything.
Missing this is a shame.
Okay,
does take a mulligan.
Oh, no.
Oh, but gets lucky, okay.
See, I told you it's so tough not to click.
See, I wouldn't have touched anything there, honestly. There wouldn't have been a click for me there.
It would just be the Wild West and the little dusty bush rolling on the road,
This is really unfortunate, this skirmisher. Unless you're going to bring back Coral and then Lippy with Magic Compass, it's really difficult, honestly.
Yeah, well...
This is a tough one. Because you also know you're playing into lots of tool removal. The odds of your opponent...
I don't think there will be much left on the Spymaster's board by the end of this.
I think that's a very realistic possibility, yeah.
I can't really see it happening, to be fair.
No. Playing just for bait, almost, but it's not... Yeah, there's the Heat Wave. Trade's okay, with Curse of Corruption and also Teshamutna Sword, plus the power of Simless, it's a lot here. Not impossible, but improbable. And is he looking for the famed Canby? I don't think it'll be enough to win if he does, but you never know.
Hey, Canby always surprises everybody, so, you know, it could be it. Could be definitely it. Whew, so, are we... if I'm Spymaster, are we just bringing something? Are we playing... Because, playing Magic Compass now feels a little too early.
It's difficult because you know the opponent definitely has Simless because of the way they've played. They would never have given the Aneromancy without it. So, certainly not in that last round. As a result, this is the Freya's Blessing.
Yes.
Are you trying to develop the engine value? It's really risky.
I would not play the Scald to get rid of that, but then we're not drawing anything, so that just doesn't make
And this
sense.
is smart. This is smart. Knowing your opponent can remove everything, taking the Hafru, which gives you value maybe on the other side, is smarter than taking the engine and trying to be greedy. Teshamuk's Sword does double clear it up, but it's also now gone.
Yeah.
And as it stands, Curse of Corruption is a brick. You want to keep it that way. You absolutely want to keep it that way.
We might see this guy on the Curse of Corruption then.
Which could be the game-defining moment, right? Because Spymaster has last say. Remember that. Spymaster has last say here. And last say for Kusha into X could be way too many points, or even into Svalblood. Svalblood could be huge because Simless is going to give a load of units. So...
Definitely, yeah.
Maybe.
Do we still have the casting command?
Probably. Let's find out.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's wrong.
It's wrong, but it's almost correct.
So obviously we're a lot less chatty when we're casting because we try and focus on the experience, but it's good to have everybody here, and thank you so much for watching along.
Yes.
He takes the decision that he doesn't have it. That's really unfortunate.
It's tough, because that is a Curse of Corruption all day, every day.
Damn.
Twice on Saturday, actually.
Yeah, and that was always going to be a... Okay. So we go double leader...
Camby.
Into Camby. Let's go! No! Skellig is gonna be fuming. Oh, it happened.
Oh my God.
No. And he has set it up. He has baited it. And Spymaster, from a seemingly impossible position, Camby's his way to victory.
Baited, so baited.
That was genuine.
Do you have the curse? Oh, that was honestly, that was perfect.
That was some 4D.
We were like...